Hi everyone. So I will be creating a series of videos about cake basics because it's something that you don't see quite often in a lot of the TikTok videos and influencer creator videos here in the Philippines. A lot of people are not familiar with the basics. They know how to make something, but they don't understand why we do things, why they don't understand techniques, they don't understand methods. And that is my approach to teaching people, going back to basics, learning the techniques rather than focusing too much on the recipes. Like I always say, if you know the techniques, you can bake anything. Because in baking, it's not like cooking where there's a different way, there's a different method every single time. In baking, it's always the same methods and the same set of ingredients. So if you know the techniques, if you know the methods, you can bake anything. And you can bake any recipe that you see or you find, or you can create your own recipes once you understand the basics. When I posted the reel on how to get flat cakes, one of my followers, Nadine, she commented about the reverse creaming method. That's what she uses. There are different mixing methods for cakes. First, you have the one-step method, which most of you are familiar with because that's what you usually use. It's the moist chocolate cake method using oil as the fat, and you mix the dries and you mix the liquids and you add the liquid to the dry. That's the one-step method. And then you have the creaming method, which I showed you last time. And there's another one. There's actually four. The last one I can show you another time. Today I'm going to show you how to do the reverse creaming method, which Nadine talked about. Thank you, Nadine, for giving me the idea for this video. So what is the reverse creaming method? Who popularized it? And why do a lot of bakers prefer using it over the one-step method and over the creaming method? The reverse creaming method, they got this idea from the pound cake method. It's very similar. It's also called the high ratio method. The woman who popularized the reverse creaming method was Levy Barenbaum. She talked about it extensively on her book called The Cake Bible. If you don't have a copy of it, it's a must book for every baker out there. So what is the reverse creaming method? In the creaming method, we cream the butter and the sugar first, and then add our eggs, our flavorings, and then the liquid and the dry ingredients. With the reverse creaming method, it's the reverse. We start with the dry ingredients first and the sugar, mix them together, and then we add our fat and then a small portion of the liquid ingredients, and then we add the rest of the liquid ingredients. Now, why is the reverse creaming method the preferred method of mixing cakes by a lot of bakers? It's because it results in a more tender product. It also results in a flatter top for a cake, so you don't have any dome tops that you have to cut. And you have a finer crumb, which is ideal for multi-tiered cakes and also for carving. And lastly, it reduces the chance of overmixing the batter, where a lot of bakers fail when mixing cakes is they overmix the batter, resulting in tough cakes or collapsed cakes. Don't focus on the recipes. I'm not here to talk about my chocolate cake recipe. I'm here to talk about a cake mixing method, which is called the reverse creaming. You can do this method for your own recipes. You can try it out as long as it has butter. Don't try this on recipes using oil as fat. It's not going to work. So I've already gathered all of my ingredients. I have my dry ingredients here, my flour, cocoa powder, leavening agents, and salt. And then in another bowl, I have my sugar, soft butter, and I have my liquid ingredients here, my eggs and my milk. Let's begin. We're going to start by placing the flour in our bowl, sugar, using the paddle attachment. We're going to mix it on low, just until the sugar and your dries are combined. And now we're going to add the soft butter and then add half of your liquid mixture. So why are we doing this? Basically, what we're doing is we're coating the flour particles with fat, which is our butter. That's why butter is called a shortening. I'm not talking about the vegetable shortening. I'm talking about the function of the butter as a shortening because it shortens gluten strands. And we're adding a little bit of the liquid to combine everything together. So what we're doing here, this is the initial mix. This is the initial step. We're creating structure. This is also some sort of creaming. We're also creaming a little bit. We're introducing air, but not a lot of air. That's why this results in a finer crumb. But we're also coating the flour particles with fat so that you don't form gluten, which makes cakes and cookies tough, which is the reverse for breads. Once our ingredients are moistened, we're going to increase the speed to medium and mix it for 1.5 minutes. It's been 1.5 minutes. The reason that we're doing this is because we're building the cake structure. We're introducing a little bit of air into our batter, but not too much. And another advantage of doing this before adding the rest of the liquid ingredients is that gluten forms when it comes in contact with water from the eggs, from the milk, or from the other liquid ingredients that we're adding. So by delaying the addition of the liquid ingredients, we're also delaying the formation of gluten. Then we're going to add the rest of our liquid ingredients in 2 additions, 20 seconds apart. We're going to add half of the remaining liquid ingredients, mix for 20 seconds, and the last remaining ingredients, mix for another 20 seconds. And the last remaining liquid, and we are done. The great thing about this is that there's less chance of overmixing the mixture because we've coated the flour particles with fat, which shortens the gluten strands, resulting in a more tender product. I'm going to show you the end batter now. I used alkalized cocoa powder for this. It looks light right now, but once this bakes, it is going to turn into a beautiful dark chocolate brown color. So here is our chocolate cake batter. It's very smooth, right? It's thick, it's smooth, and I'm gonna transfer this to my prepared cake pans. And because I used the reverse creaming method, my cakes will turn out flatter, so I don't have to cut them. Do I weigh my cake batter? I don't. Why? Because I've been doing this for many years. And I can tell exactly how much batter I need for each pan. And how many recipes I need for each size of cake. We're going to give this a tap. Because we didn't introduce a lot of air to this batter, it's not going to be as fluffy as creamed cakes. so you'll have a more tender structure. But this is still good for making tiered cakes because it firms up in the fridge because we used butter instead of oil to make this recipe. So this is ready to bake. Bake it for about 45 minutes or until set. And later I'll show you what it looks like after it's baked. Hi, and we're back, and my cakes are baked. As you can see, they're flat. I didn't have to use any baking strips. And that's the advantage of doing the reverse creaming method. Because you're not incorporating a lot of air into the batter, it doesn't fluff as much, and you have a more fine crumb, but it's still very moist. It's tender, it's velvety, and I just love using this method for making my cakes. And I'm going to show you a cut version. So inside, so you can see what it looks inside. It's finer, but when you eat it, it's like it sticks to your mouth because it's moist. It just doesn't, hindi lang siya mahahalata, but it's moist when you eat it. So the cut side looks like this. And you see, it has a very fine crumb. This is great for carving. This is also great for layering cakes because it's not super soft. I use this for my multi-tiered cakes. It's not gonna break or, give in from the pressure. Let me do this. This is, by the way, extra cake that I have. So even if I do this, so I'm applying pressure and it's not budging. See? Okay. So that's the reverse creaming method. If you like this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to all of my social media channels on Facebook, Instagram at Jamie Gardino Cake Design, YouTube, and on TikTok at JG Cake Design. Post your questions below. Ask me anything about what I just talked about today. And in the future, I'll make another video on how to do the modified creaming method. Till next time, bye.